This article explores season 1 of the BBC television drama Vigil. Vigil is taken as a significant site for the construction of public knowledge about nuclear weapons. In taking popular television drama as a site of nuclear knowledge, this article extends beyond discourse-oriented approaches to explore how nuclear discourse is also manifest in visual communication, everyday encounters, and popular imagination. In taking popular culture seriously, everyday acts such as watching television become critical incidences of world politics. Season 1 of BBC's television drama is set aboard a Trident Vanguard class nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine, fictionally named Vigil. As a police procedural drama, Vigil centres the police and their investigations, which come to intertwine with the Royal Navy, politicians, and nuclear activists. This article demonstrates how Vigil reproduces and occasionally problematizes status quo assumptions about deterrence, security, and peace. Analysing popular culture artefacts, like Vigil, can reveal how assumptions about nuclear weapons and war are naturalised and depoliticised in everyday encounters. Deconstructing these encounters can expose tensions in the nuclear status quo, as well as the gendered and racialised processes of nuclear knowledge production. The lack of contemporary scholarly education given to nuclear weapons risks presenting nuclear issues as issues of the past, confined to the Cold War. Even scholarly work produced after the end of the Cold War looks back to popular culture produced during the Cold War. As a result of this focus on Cold War popular culture, our understanding of representations of nuclear weapons and war is largely outdated, unresponsive to the current political moment, changing state relations, upgraded weapons technologies, and new artifacts of popular culture. This article adds to the canon of work that navigates nuclear discourses across both written and spoken language, as well as still and moving images. In doing so, it contributes to a growing subfield of critical security studies interested in the political impact of visual communication and narrative in processes of securitization and militarization, which has yet to turn its attention to nuclear weapons in enough detail. I argue that nuclear weapons are especially important to understand through popular culture for 3 key reasons. Firstly, many features of the weapons themselves, subatomic processes, nuclear fission, radioactivity, make them impossible to directly observe or describe without the use of abstraction. Radioactivity and subatomic processes are beyond the human senses. We can speak of them and think of them only through metaphor. Their literally inconceivable nature primes nuclear weapons for exploration through myths, symbols, and metaphors that make thinkable what is otherwise otherworldly. Secondly, the levels of secrecy and lack of democratic deliberation that is inherent to nuclear weapons policy means that the public largely come to know about nuclear weapons through popular culture. Often nuclear weapons politics is deliberately kept out of democratic debate. Popular culture becomes a site where norms of nuclear politics become meaningful, and the possibility of nuclear war comes to be normalized in everyday spaces. Finally, the effects of nuclear weapons mining, production, testing, and use has been directly experienced by very few people globally, and yet everyone lives with the risk of nuclear annihilation. Through popular culture, we can understand what nuclear weapons mean to all of us in the everyday. This article, in this background, answers 3 key questions. Firstly, how does Vigil present responsibility for the use of nuclear weapons? Second, does Vigil present humans or nuclear weapons as having agency? And are they agents of peace or of destruction? And finally, does Vigil present the bomb as a powerful good? Ultimately, this paper demonstrates how television can reproduce and occasionally challenge how we think about nuclear weapons and world politics more generally. At a time when every nuclear weapon state is modernizing and or expanding its nuclear arsenal, and Russia is threatening nuclear escalation, inquiry into the popular representation of nuclear weapons and war has never been more urgent. If anywhere, there is a need for the kind of boundary challenging scholarship that taking popular culture seriously yields, it is in questioning the logic of nuclear deterrence. Sites of popular culture, like Vigil, have real consequences for the imagining of world politics. This imagining can shape the boundaries of how nuclear weapons can, and likely will, exist in the future.